There are nights when we close our eyes hoping for rest, but instead we wake in the morning feeling heavier, stiffer, older than when we went to bed. Many believe this is just how aging works, that time alone steals our strength. But that isn't the whole truth. What really weakens the body in those quiet hours is not just the passing of years, but the silent fire of inflammation and the neglect of the very tissues that long for nourishment while we sleep. Sleep should be the most healing part of our day, yet for many it becomes the moment when the body falls further behind. Most of the advice given to seniors focuses on what to eat and do during the day, the vitamins at breakfast, the walk in the afternoon, the pills taken with dinner. But the hours when your body truly rebuilds itself are often forgotten. Nighttime is when your muscles, your joints, even your memory, quietly repair the wear and tear of life. And just like a house that needs good materials to be restored, your body needs the right nourishment to rebuild. Without it, the repair is weak, leaving you to wake up stiff, sore, and uncertain about the day ahead. The Japanese physician Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived past 100 years, once said, "We age not because time passes, but because we ignore what needs care. Muscles, like old bridges, collapse when we stop reinforcing them." Imagine an old bridge without maintenance. The wood rots, the nails loosen, and little by little it cannot carry weight. Our bodies are no different. And yet, just as bridges can be strengthened with the right support, our muscles too can find resilience again, if we give them what they quietly ask for in the night. Dr. Andrew Weil, a pioneer in integrative medicine, reminds us that the body heals best in states of calm. Sleep is that natural state of calm, the perfect window for healing. But calm alone is not enough. The body also needs tools, gentle allies that fight inflammation and feed the tissues while we rest. That is where the ancient wisdom of oils comes in. Oils, when chosen with care and taken or applied before bed, act like night nurses, tending to tired muscles, cooling the fire of inflammation, and helping the body to rebuild from within. Tonight, we will walk together through 4 oils, simple, natural, and proven by both tradition and modern science. Oils that elders in the Mediterranean, in the Middle East, in Okinawa have trusted for generations. Oils that do not promise miracles, but that, with consistency, can help protect your muscles, ease your joints, and make mornings lighter. This is not about expensive products or complicated routines. It is about rediscovering what was always within reach, nourishment that works while you sleep. Now let us begin by understanding why so many people over 60 wake up weaker than they went to bed, and why the real cause of that morning stiffness is often invisible. Have you ever noticed how the body sometimes betrays you in silence? You lie down feeling one way and you wake up another, joints stiff, muscles heavy, steps hesitant. Many believe this is simply old age whispering its truth, but often what happens during the night is far more subtle. As we rest, small fires of inflammation flare in the muscles. These silent flames may not wake you, but by morning they leave their mark. Stiffness that feels like cement, aches that seem to settle deeper than the bones, a tiredness that no amount of coffee or tea can lift. For many, the first response is to quiet the pain with a pill, tablets at the bedside, capsules on the kitchen table, familiar companions in the battle against discomfort. Yet painkillers do little more than dim the voice of the body without answering its cry. They soothe for a few hours, but the tissues remain thirsty, the fibers remain inflamed. It is like turning down the radio without fixing the static. Relief comes, yes, but the root of the noise continues. The truth is that the body is designed to repair itself most deeply at night. Muscles renew, connective tissues knit themselves back together, memory traces are sorted and stored. But repair requires materials, and without them the process falters. Essential fats and anti-inflammatory compounds are like bricks and mortar for the house of your body. If they are missing, the structure cannot be rebuilt. You cannot patch a roof without shingles. You cannot mend muscles without nourishment. There is an image that may help. Imagine trying to rebuild a house during an earthquake. The ground shakes, the walls crack, and every effort to repair collapses before it begins. That is what it is like for the body to attempt healing in the presence of inflammation. The tremor of irritation within the tissues makes renewal impossible. Calm must come first, and only then can strength return. One woman of 68 described her nights as battles with her own calves, cramping, tightness, restlessness, until she discovered a quiet ally. A spoonful of an oil rich in omega fats before bed changed her mornings. The cramps eased, her muscles felt softer, and she began to wake with something she thought she had lost: trust in her own body. Her story is not one of miracles, but of small, steady care that allowed her nights to give back rather than take away. This is the hidden truth. Weakness in the morning is not always age pressing harder upon you. Often, it is the absence of what your body longs for while you sleep. And when that need is met, even the oldest muscles remember how to heal. Now let us explore the 4 oils that can offer that nourishment, companions of strength that work in the silence of the night. In every culture, oils have carried stories. They have been poured into lamps to bring light, rubbed into skin to bring comfort, and added to meals to bring life. What seems simple, a spoon of oil, a gentle rub, a drizzle over food, can hold centuries of wisdom. And when it comes to protecting aging muscles, a handful of oils stand out as true allies, offering calm to inflammation and strength to tissues that rebuild in silence through the night. The first is extra virgin olive oil. Many think of it only as a dressing for salads or a drizzle over bread, but hidden within it is oleocanthal, a natural compound that behaves much like the medicine doctors often prescribe for pain. Unlike the pill that silences the body for a few hours, olive oil works with it, cooling irritation and offering steady relief. Those who live in the Mediterranean have known this for generations. Their diets, rich in this golden oil, are linked to joints that bend more easily and muscles that last longer. Taken before bed, even in a modest spoonful, it gives the body the calm it needs to start repairing what the day has worn down. From the Middle East comes another gift: black seed oil. Ancient writings called it a cure for everything but death. While no oil can be so complete, modern science now shows its power against inflammation. Studies reveal that it can lower the very markers in the blood that signal irritation and wear. For seniors, whose muscles often ache after the smallest effort, this oil brings relief that is both old and new. It has carried families through centuries of hardship, and today it still offers strength to those whose nights are broken by discomfort. For those who cannot tolerate fish or prefer to avoid it, flaxseed oil steps in. It is one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fats, the very building blocks that muscles and joints crave for healing. Seniors often struggle with digestion, and heavy foods can cause more harm than help. Flaxseed oil, light and gentle, brings the same benefits in a way the body can accept. Taken before rest, it reduces the soreness that often lingers in the muscles and softens the stiffness that greets the morning. In this way, a humble seed becomes a partner in resilience. Then, there is the touch of care that comes not through swallowing, but through skin. Arnica oil, when blended with magnesium, becomes a balm for tired muscles. Applied as a massage oil before sleep, it loosens the fibers that have tightened through the day. The magnesium seeps in quietly, easing tension, while arnica soothes the soreness of overworked tissues. For many, this simple ritual is more than medicine. It is a moment of connection, a pause to honor the body with touch, to thank it for carrying us through another day. A man of 73 once shared how he had stopped walking the park paths he loved. His legs felt too heavy, his steps too uncertain. But when he began a nightly ritual with oil, gently massaging it into his calves and thighs, the mornings shifted. Within weeks, he found himself stepping outside again, walking easier, even daring to take the longer route. His joy was not in a cure, but in the quiet return of movement that he thought was gone forever. These oils, olive, black seed, flaxseed and arnica with magnesium, are not new inventions. They are companions from the past, confirmed by the science of today, waiting to be remembered by those who need them most. In their quiet ways, they feed, soothe and strengthen, and when used with care before sleep, they allow the body to do what it was always meant to do, restore itself. But there is more than choosing the right oil. The time and manner of their use can decide whether they become simple drops of fat or powerful tools of healing. Let us turn then to the importance of timing and preparation. When we think of nourishment, we often think of the hours of sunlight, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yet the body is not ruled only by clocks. It is ruled by rhythms. Daytime is the rhythm of activity. of breaking down, of spending energy. Nighttime, however, is the rhythm of restoration. It is when the body retreats inward, slows its pulse, and begins the quiet work of mending. To place oils into the body at night is to offer them at the very moment when they can be received most deeply. During sleep, the nervous system shifts into its gentler state, the parasympathetic system. It is like the soft dimming of a lamp after a long day. Muscles relax, digestion slows, the heart beats steadier. In this calm, nutrients are absorbed and directed not toward movement or alertness, but toward repair. Oils given at this moment do not compete with the busyness of daytime digestion. Instead, they are woven directly into the rebuilding of muscle and joint, stitch by stitch, fiber by fiber. How these oils enter the body matters as much as when. Some may be taken by spoon, simple and direct, carried to the tissues through the blood. Others may be infused in warm teas or broths, blended gently so they do not weigh heavy on the stomach. Still others may find their path through the skin itself, drawn inward by massage, traveling through the surface to the deeper places of strain. The method chosen is not about right or wrong, but about listening to the body, knowing what it accepts with ease and what burdens it. Across the islands of Okinawa, elders have long known this truth. Before sleep, some place warm towels over the knees or back, infused with oils, allowing the heat to carry relief into the joints. The practice is simple, but in its simplicity lies its wisdom. It is not about abundance, but about presence, being present with the part of the body that aches, offering it what it needs before rest. There is a phrase that captures this spirit: feed your body where it hurts. To feed does not only mean to eat, but to tend, to nourish, to give attention. Where the body speaks in stiffness, there the oil belongs. Where the body whispers with fatigue, there the ritual finds its place. With such timing and preparation, the oils do not remain mere ingredients. They become companions of healing, arriving at the precise moment the body opens its door to them. Yet, while some oils are true allies, others carry hidden dangers. Not every oil in the kitchen or on the shelf brings comfort. Some, in fact, quietly work against the body, stealing the very strength we hope to preserve. To understand how to protect the muscles, we must also uncover the myths that surround oils and the harm they sometimes conceal. For every oil that heals, there are others that quietly harm. Shelves in grocery stores gleam with bottles, labels promising health, energy, and longevity. Yet behind many of these promises lies a truth rarely spoken. Not all oils are equal. Some feed the fire of inflammation instead of cooling it. Some wear the disguise of health, but work against the very muscles and joints they claim to support. The first myth is that all oils are healthy. It is easy to believe that if one oil brings strength, then any oil will do. But many of the most common ones, processed vegetable oils, margarine, refined canola, and soy, behave differently inside the body. They oxidize easily, turning into irritants that spark inflammation rather than soothe it. Over time, these oils add to the burden of the muscles, leaving them more vulnerable to stiffness and pain. What seems harmless in the pan or bottle becomes fuel for weakness when carried in the blood. This confusion is deepened by labels that boast of being heart-healthy or cholesterol-free. Such words invite trust, yet they often mask the truth. Refined oils lose much of their natural integrity through heavy processing. They are stripped, bleached, and deodorized until they are far from their original form. What remains may be shelf-stable, but it no longer carries the healing touch of natural fats. Instead, it unsettles the delicate balance of the body, disrupting joints, muscles, and even digestion. The story of one woman, 62 years old, brings this truth to life. For years, she cooked with the same bottle of oil, believing it safe because the label told her so. But mornings became harder. Her hands swelled, her grip weakened, her fingers stiffened as if each joint resisted the dawn. Then she shifted, setting aside the refined oil and bringing flaxseed oil into her evenings. Within weeks, her mornings softened. The stiffness lessened, her hands opened with greater ease, and she rediscovered the joy of holding a teacup without pain. Her story is not of miracle change, but of the quiet difference that comes when the wrong oil is replaced with one that heals. The wrong oil at night is like repainting a rusted pipe. The surface shines for a while, but the leak beneath continues to spread. Appearance is not the same as truth, and what looks good on a label may erode the body from within. To protect the muscles and the years that remain, it is not enough to add the right oils. One must also step away from those that betray the body in silence. And when that shift happens, when harmful oils are removed and healing oils are welcomed, the body finds space again to restore itself. Muscles hold longer, joints bend easier, mornings arrive with less struggle. In this balance lies the real promise of oils, not a miracle, but a steady return to strength. Now, as we bring these truths together, let us look at what it means to care for the body in this way. To end each day with nourishment, to rise each morning with greater ease, and to understand that a body cared for is a body that lasts. Morning stiffness, aching knees, the weight of rising slowly from bed, these may feel like the price of age, yet often they are signs of a body asking for care. Pain is not destiny. It is the whisper of tissues needing nourishment before the night begins. What we give ourselves before sleep shapes how we greet the morning. The Japanese physician Shigeki Hinohara, who lived past 100, said, "Care for the body before sleep, and the body will care for you in the morning." His words remind us that healing begins not at dawn but in the quiet hours of rest. When the body enters sleep, it moves into its gentlest state, ready to restore. If given the right support, muscles rebuild, joints ease, and strength slowly returns. Dosim. Andrew Weil often explains that inflammation is the hidden thread of accelerated aging. It touches muscles, joints, even memory. Oils, chosen wisely and offered before bed, help cool that silent fire. Olive oil, black seed, flaxseed, or the soothing touch of arnica with magnesium, each brings nourishment where the body most needs it. These are not miracles, but steady companions, joining science with tradition to remind the body how to repair. Think of a well-oiled machine. It runs longer, moves more smoothly, and rests without strain. The human body too thrives when cared for in this way. A spoonful, a gentle massage, a moment of attention before sleep can shift how the morning feels. Your body has not forgotten how to heal. It waits for consistency, for care offered in small rituals. Choose one oil, offer it at night, and let the silence of sleep become a time of renewal. You are not too late. Each evening still holds the chance to rise stronger the next day.